everybody, it's Wayne again from One-on-One Animation, and someone had asked me if I would do a video of just me sketching and just my process of doing it. It's I just sort of go into it and start putting down shapes, and I find something that will develop into a character, and then I try to push that character into other poses. So I'm just gonna have at it here, and what I always do is on the background, this, I don't know if this is important, but it's really white right now, and I always go to the background on Sketchbook, and I'll tone it down into like a gray yellow or something. I just like it more like that. And then with this one, what I'm gonna do is I'll do a underdrawing. I think that's what the person was interested in, me doing the underdrawings, then going above them with a darker line. So it's like going with a wax pencil on paper, like red or blue, and then with graphics. So I just start putting shapes down. Now this is just sort of like just subconscious drawing. I'm just putting down shapes and seeing what I can come up with. So let's say, okay, we got something going on here. Got this shape, come down. How about a crotchety old man, maybe? And he'll have a bigger stomach here. And there's got a cane. Let's think about this. He'll have high pants, up like so, and he's kind of very limber, so we'll have the cane right there, and where the ground line there, and what should I have him doing here? Maybe he's like telling someone, bring it right here, pointing down. Like, let's pretend maybe there's movers, and they're moving some of his stuff in, and he's very set in his ways. So with that, I'm thinking to myself, all right, he'll have a frown going on there, and then I think I'll make that a little stronger. So right here, what I'm thinking is, I want to make the point that he is like adamant, you right here, and he's saying, you drop it right here, whatever they're delivering, and he's telling them right there, you just drop it there, don't ask any questions, and that's kind of his attitude. But on this one, we want to give him, he's old man, the spine's sort of, going out on him, but he's leaning back. This one. And then for design, I just come down, put some little feet there. I'm gonna give him big eyebrows. That's what happens. And just a little bit of hair back there. Maybe I'll make, I'll make him kind of eccentric old man. So he's got long hair. He's an old hippie. That looks good. I'll give him some outdated bell-bottom pants. So there I've got something started right there. And right there, that's good enough. I see the proportions of him, and then I'll go in and I'll think to myself, what, Wayne? I'm gonna think to myself, let me think about his head construction. Let's say if he went from this pose, and I just want to make a turnaround of the head, and he's just got this triangle nose right there. He's very graphic and also has form within it. So I'll look down there and I'll think to myself, all right, there's cranium, here's his lower face right there. And I know he's got this nose like this, but this one I'll bring the eyebrows up high on this one, and maybe give him that sort of effect when, you know, the eye is going to be looking screen right there. I'll come in with the darker pen to make that clear. And this one, maybe I'll just close it, and that will make everything pointing that way. And again, I'll give him that. Maybe show a little iris there. That look. The hairline here, and then again, he's got long hair that comes down. And hair, you can there's so many different types of hair. So with him, I'm just going to give him this long, kind of stringy hair. Comes down like that. But I think about the big shape as I put it down. And now I got another view of him in a different angle here. And at this point, this is where I'm starting to get a little bit of a handle on him. Draw the other side of the cheek there. And let's say that I like this head pose. Let me come in, shrink that down a little bit, bring it over here. And this one, I'm going to have him in more of a standard pose. So he'll be right here. And what I'm thinking is he's just holding himself up. There's his pot belly right there. High pants. And the other arm. I always try to look for rhythms and lines that will flow in from one to another. What that does, it makes your drawings much more unified. So I go from there, come up here. I tell you who talks about this a lot, is really good at it, is Michael Matisse. He's the first draftsman that I know of who really talks about the forces within the drawing. And I don't know it as well as he does, but there's a lot to be learned if you go to his YouTube channel. And Glenn Keane also, he's the first artist I actually ever heard talking about forces. Okay, so we'll get back to Gramps here. And so he's just eyeing something over there, but he's got both his hands on the cane to steady himself. Ground plane's always important to give him a stage to be on. Making his sleeves a little loose. blew it right there, but I'm going in red. Now we'll get his post bell bottom pants. And now I've come up with a, starting to flesh him out, starting to realize who he is, what he is. And when I do, now if I go into depth with character design, I don't just do this one pass. I'll maybe start off like this, but I will really investigate it more and more. I'll think about more and more of who the character is, more in depth as far as their history and everything. That truly helps. Because you just know what kind of attitude, what kind of poses, the history behind them. It just makes it where it's just much easier. So I'm thinking, okay, this guy, baby boomer, one of the first ones, probably went to Woodstock Music Festival. Myself some room here, and now I got two poses I can go by and try to figure out something else. So let's say what if he is angry and I keep making, you know what, I'll change it, let's make him happy. And I could put the mouth directly in the middle or put it off to the side. I'm going to put it off to the side. Say he's got a tooth missing. And this time, those eyebrows, we're going to bring them up here just to emphasize, something good happened. But here we'll see the ears because it's more of a front view. Right there. Hairline, sideburns there. And I'll worry about this. I'll come back up to the head later on. I got the expression, and I still want to make him sort of stiff because he is old. But on this one, I'll put a little kick into him. Overlapping line. Should I have him? Now here's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking, should he still be using the cane? Is he that old? And I think I will have him use it. So that was what that was. That was just me thinking, drawing out loud, in a sense, where I'm just thinking about, different ideas. I was thinking maybe I would bring both arms up in a celebration, but I decided I'm going to keep that prop of the cane in there. Maybe his hair. Yeah, that would be a good one. I'll have his hair swinging around because he's just found out he won something. So I'm actually starting to make them more cartoony on this. When I flush it out with the dark pencil, everything will be more realized at that point. And his shirt. I'm going to give him sort of a peasant shirt there. Show a cuff there for the stretch. And I'm going to fix that leg. Okay, so take this, bring it down, and we'll do one more. Now, here's what I do all the time. So I was working on this drawing. I looked back at this drawing and I'm thinking, you know what? I want to make this stronger. Excuse me, and I do this all the time. I'll see it, and it's like I got a fresh eye. I look at it, and it's gonna go, you know what? I'm gonna simplify this more so, just to make it more simple, and graphically, it's stronger with me just doing that. But I do that all the time. I look at the drawings. I turn away, I look back, I can see the problems that I'm having in them, and I don't worry. If you notice, I don't think I've been erasing at all. I don't do that. I just keep digging into it and keep struggling with the pose. So that's just an idea, like here, I want to get the hair a little more crazy. Okay, so let's see here. Let's have, got this. Grumpy. Now we'll make him guilty. Maybe he was mean to someone that didn't deserve to be mean. His wrath. So maybe he yelled at someone, and this one I'm just going to do a head drawing of it. So my first thought is the head is down. And he's sort of in the eyes. I'm just thinking, that's what I'm thinking right now, is the eyes. Make it a 3/4. See a little bit of the ear here. The big eyebrows. That'll get erased. Didn't like the placement of that mouth. Okay, because he's feeling guilty, you use all the elements of your character, and what I mean by that is the hair. Right now, it's just hanging down, and that will help for the viewer, and it will help emphasize his feelings. Now I'm going to have his back way up here, like so. And I made his chin face too long right there. Everything comes down. Okay, so right here, I've got to start. I'm gonna bring his hands are gonna be down here somewhere, and you can see how I just put the gesture in. And so at this point, I'll look at. I'm going to shrink this down a little bit. Just a tad. And then at this point, I'll look at all the drawings again and say to myself, okay, does it look like the same character? I'm not that worried about it because I'm just sketching and having fun right now. But this is the point where I'll be more self-critical and I'll think, right here, I want to bring this shape round there and a straight there. Then come down, and I do my drawings to where it feels like it's correct. It isn't really a formula I have. I mean, I know about, straights against curves and S lines, C lines, and all that, and I use all of that, but I'm thinking more about if the drawing itself looks good. And I would go, trust me, if I was going to go into this, if I was being paid to do this right now, I'd be going over these over and over many times to get it exactly the way I want to get it. So I got this foreshortening. There's the bell bottoms there. I'm not sure if I got this figured out that well. So what I'll do now is I'm just going to come in with the black, maybe a little off black, and check my pencil out. A little thinner. Let's get light. put some bags under his eyes. That will help him look older. There's that graphic triangle nose. And notice I'm not laboring over the graphite line. That's what I call it. That's what it used to be. The dark line, the black line. I'm not laboring over it. I'm just trying to still keep it loose. And I hear people say have fun. I don't know if it's exact. It is fun because it's a challenge. So that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just trying to keep the challenge, and I'm trying to keep it simple but clear. So I had decided that he was going to have teeth like this. Won't even show any bottom teeth. I'll show a little overlap of the lip there. There's a cheekbone, there's a cheekbone. I'll just come straight down. Like so. See, tangent right there. Don't want tangents. Tangents are awful. Now bring it down. A little bit of chin. I do like, personally, I like the ability to draw zoom in and out. That's the one thing I do love about digital, is that ability. I think more than anything else. Okay, so we got this shoulder. This isn't really anatomy class, but we know that this shoulder is in front, and as this shoulder is too. So both of them are in front, and it's that overlapping line. And then I'm going to put the stretch in the shirt cuff right there. Same thing I did right there on that one. And then this hand comes up, very stylized hand. Fingers coming over the cane for a little flare. I'll put the pinky out. Big shape of the hair. I'm imagining his shirt is just tucked into his pants. Put a little more pizzazz on it. Put the little heel on the shoes. Ooh, break that up a little bit. Look at that shoe, so I okay, gonna leave the hair gray. Okay, and I just stopped right about there. Cast shadow always helps. Put the cast shadow in to make your characters really feel planted there. I'm laughing because someone I know named Rico will find that funny. And then I'll look at it and I'll think to myself, I want to bring those eyes out. Darker here, darker up there, because that is symbolizing the top eyelid and the cast shadow. Because usually, not always, but usually the light is from above. And that's what gives it that depth in just a thick and thin line right there. And there, I would just stop there. I'll work on him. Stretch, overlapping line. Show the inside of that pants. Looking back at the shoe. Okay. There. Okay, so my orange drawing, I'm gonna push this eyebrow up higher than the orange drawing. Couple wrinkles. And this eye. I do take care, slow down a little bit with the eyes, because they're what everybody looks at first. When you meet somebody, I hope you look at them in the eye. The crease from the nose down to the edge of the mouth. Cheekbone there. Then I put in a couple lines, shows age more. And ear. Okay, so he's at a slant like this. Now I'm thinking about drawing a little bit more. At a slant, there's the ear. Does that match this here? Not really. Let me go back. They're a little smaller. Although, when people get older, their ears keep growing. Now I'm going to go into the construction of arms. And I just want to make this clear. So this got a little bit of a curve to it. This is going to be a straight. Able to draw it. Stretch in the sleeve. Show the stretch there. Shoulder. His head is back there. Here's pants needed in. And here we got the hands. Everyone, hands. The way I think of hands is shapes again. And I'm gonna look over here. And to be honest with you, this is just my stylized hands. I don't know where I've picked this up through over the years, but look, I'm not the originator of it. And there's the fingers that are over the cane. And this I do want to make perfectly clear. I'm going to focus on this to make sure that that cane, which isn't good right there, I want to make sure that it's perfectly clear that he's leaning on that. And I'll go from a pinch to a wider shape down here. And here's the cane. And there's the tip of the cane right there. Those eyes, I'm gonna get them just right. Okay. Now we'll go to our first pose. He's not, the proportions are off a bit here. Make that here a little clearer. And from here, there to there, I don't have a problem. Kind of looks like the same guy, but over here, proportions are off. But at this, I'm really not worried about it because I'm just drawing to draw. But if I'm looking at it, and if I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna put it in, I'm still gonna try to make it, you know, it's the same character. So I'm gonna push up the belt line, coming around down there. Exaggerate the bell bottoms a little bit more. And I'm turning this hand. I'm really having fun with this. I'm going to turn it where it's just, it would be broken in real life. And it's turning around, way around in that direction. Hated that. First of all, when I did that, it had a tangent on the foot. And in case anyone doesn't know, a tangent is where one line, like where I had the cane, that line came down and touched the line of the front of the shoe right there. You don't want that. Either you want to make a choice to go in or out. So I'm going to make the choice to go in and overlap it. Widen it, then we'll get rid of that shoe behind there. And here we go with the flows again, the rhythm and flows. Coming over there, this is what's going to unify all your drawings, be it cartoons, or figure drawing. It's those rhythmic lines that really, really will make your drawing look unified. Okay, we're getting there. Take advantage of the zoom in. Okay, here he is. Push that eye out a little bit more. The reason why is to just make it stronger. Make the shape stand out. Cheekbone coming down. Top lip. And there's this bottom lip that's really showing. He's not happy. Under the head. You see I'm doing a ghost drawing underneath. I'm trying to find where that ear is. And I don't like that. Push it back. Show that cranium. And right here, again, this is just to show his age. Too much time on that hair. Just showing the locks. You can square it off. You can bring them to a point on hair like this. There's his shirt, but the chin is down on top of it. Wrinkled up there. Oh, we're getting somewhere. Not well about that hair, but I'll come back to it. Let's see. The problem I'm having there, I realize, is I gotta make them bolder. And that just helped it right there. Okay, and this one, we'll go to this one. Huh. Sure, lip feels bald. Pouty lip. Chin. This is looking closer to these two. This one's off model. So, what I do is I take a look here. This is god awful. Come back in. Whoa, that's too much. He's got a fuller face. Okay, so this isn't perfect, but it's pretty much when I'm playing around, is what I do pretty much. Right there, and I try to just figure out, if I come up with one model, I'll just try to figure out how to move that character in different poses. And I do that, it's really more for exercise. If it's a job, I gotta, I'm going to, do a lot more research and understanding, or I even will write a synopsis of who the character is, if that makes any sense. It's just, I thought it was crazy when I first heard this and I first got in the business and people were telling me you gotta really get into the psyche of the character that you're working on, and I kind of thought that was overboard, but trust me, they were correct, and I won't argue with that ever again, because after I had done that with certain, on certain characters where I had the time to do it, it seems to flow out of the tip of your pencil. So let's see, what else would I do? That wasn't really what the young person asked me about. Here's the shadow of just how do I... This is basically, so let's say that I'm gonna put this on Instagram or something, you know, just to fill up the page. What I usually do is do something like this, and then I'll just come up here and crop it. Just like that. Right there. And then if I, you know, have the desire, I'll take this all the way. So there's the background, and I don't really want to go back into doing more drawing with the character, but I want to liven up the whole composition of everything in here. So I'll take a look at it, and just to make it look more appealing, move him a little bit more there, and let's see. It's just like, I tell you, it's just like people say, you know, you work digitally, isn't it sort of cheating? No, I don't believe so at all. I think it's actually a big advantage. Why people animate on paper still, I have no idea. The workload is cut in half doing it digitally. But I'm not saying they're wrong. Shouldn't have even said that. Okay. So I'm just gonna make this, just see what happens here, just to spark it up a little bit. Put in just some different colors in the back. Let's go with the green here. No, what's a happy color? Yellow. Let's go with the bright yellow here. Okay, here's Grumpy over here. Let's see if we come in there. Use the color that will kind of dictate who he is, his mood right there. And this one, maybe he's jealous of something. Yellow. Back to that purple. I'm not worried about the colors. If I want to, I can go in and get the colors out from the character, from going into the character. I don't really worry about it that much, but if I wanted to, let's say, it's pretty simple. You just go in there and then you come in with your eraser and you can just clean it up like so, if you want just the colors to be behind the character. It's sometimes good. I like stuff that's sort of like sloppy. It's not sloppy. It just looks more like it has a free touch to it. But some people like stuff really tight. So I'll come in. Oop. And right there, I'm just gonna clear it out on his face right there. Here, this one I'll keep real tight. And I would say that's about it. That's one way that I draw. I draw in many different ways, but this is one way that I draw. With the under drawing and then the top drawing. Sometimes I just come in and just work in black and just go straight from there. This is this is dealing more with the shapes in a more commercial sense in the way, and what I mean by that is just more accepted. But when you do drawings that are just a little out of the ordinary, people have a little bit harder time. But it's good to draw in all different sorts of styles. I think it's good. I hear a lot of people say, to try to find your style. That style's going to come no matter what. That I promise you, no matter what. Your fingerprint is going to be in on your drawing. So you don't want to sit there and be influenced by, whoever you're influenced by and who you admire. Study them, but your style is going to evolve as time goes forward, no matter what. It's just like your fingerprint. There's only one of a kind. So let's see here. Let me blow this up, get rid of these windows. Blow it up, and there we got the grumpy old hippie. So I hope this helped, and I hope you enjoyed this. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.